Hi everyone, my name is Kira Harlamor and I am an inspirational, motivational public speaker, and I wanted to take a few minutes and share some inspiration and motivation with all of you today. Now, you usually would see me on here giving my dating, my Love Talk with Kira dating and relationship advice, but today we're going to be doing the inspiration and motivational speaking advice instead, okay? Now, have you ever listened to Dan Pina's, he's a multi-billionaire, his motivational and inspirational speeches, he's actually very, I would say harsh to a certain degree, but in the same way, he's very to the point. And I think that's important. And I think it's fantastic. And the reason I say that is because why fluff everything up to the point of, just adding all these fluff words and not getting to the point and explaining to people what it is that they really need to do and why things aren't manifesting the way that you want to, okay? Have you ever thought about what you wanted in life? Have you ever thought about what it is that you want to do in life? Have you ever gone out and you went to school and you went to college and you're like, man, I'm not happy. And you don't understand why. And you're like, well, I thought I liked this, but really it's not what I thought it was going to be. And, you have the option to turn around your life. You have the option to turn your life around. You have the option to make the subtle changes and alterations in your life little by little in order to get yourself to where you really want to be. Okay. And it doesn't mean that everything you did was a waste of time. At all. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people think. It's like, well, I already did this and I might as well just keep going. Well, if you are in sheer agony doing what it is you're doing, but you're just doing it to get through it now you need to think about why you want to put yourself through that type of agony longer than necessary. Okay, you're the one putting yourself through it now. No one else is, because you're choosing to do that. Now, a lot of people may come back and say, oh, I have retirement fund. I'm supposed to do this and that. This is how this works. Well, there are different ways that you can go around that. If you want to continue doing that, that's up to you. But just remember, you're going to be in agony until you're finished. Okay, and maybe you can consider if there are any other avenues within your career field that would be less painful for you. And maybe you're able to choose to go into one of those avenues until you're retired, okay? There's different options, and I think a lot of people get stuck in thinking that there aren't, and there really are. So take consideration what it is that makes you happy, okay? Most people will come back and they will tell you that, nobody's happy, life can't be happy, I'll never be happy, happiness doesn't exist, but it does. It exists, and it exists inside of you. The thing of it is it starts with you. You have to go deep within inside yourself, and you have to think about what it is that you like to do. Write down a list of things that you would really like to do, okay? I was in surgery the other day with a colleague, and he was saying, oh, I used to hate doing certain procedures, and I would sit there and I would write down a list of what I would rather be doing. I'd rather be doing this. And he's like, I came up with 75 different scenarios of what he'd rather be doing right now than what he was doing. And I thought, wow, that's really healing and helpful for this person. And I thought, that's fantastic. That's what I said. I said, that's actually a fantastic thing that you did. And I said, now what you should be doing is taking those action steps and putting those 75 things into play. Okay, so you have 75 different types of projects now to keep you busy and keep your mind stimulated and evolving, and it's only going to help you grow, and that happiness is going to come out of you in 75 different ways, and maybe even more. Okay, so that's how that works. And the fact that he acknowledged that was extremely important. And I think a lot of people, if they acknowledge it and then they take those action steps to get themselves to where they really want to be, then they make it there. But it takes time. Now, the key factor there is a lot of people do not want to take time. They want it immediate. Now, there are some things that can be immediate, sure. At the same time, big picture, long term, fantastic happiness does take time, and it takes healing, and there's certain steps and processes that are necessary for each individual to take in order for them to get there. Now, if you're not willing to do this, and you're not willing to understand the whole process, and you're not willing to, be happy, then, just forget about it. And you can just click off of every motivational and inspirational public speakers program and go back to being unhappy, because that's what you're going to be. And you're going to make yourself unhappy, and you're going to continue to be unhappy because of your own doing. No one else decides if you're happy or not. You do. Nobody else decides. You do. If you're, let's say you're in the military, okay? When you're in the military, I was in the military. I was staff sergeant. So I was in the Air Force. I was in for 5 years. I extended for 1 year because I made it staff sergeant, put it on the first time, and I put it on right away. So I was going to get out. I decided to stay in, and I was there for 9/11. I did not go to war. They actually let me out. I didn't have enough retainability. So that's how that worked. I support the military, and I have a lot of military family, and I love everyone, and they give us a great foundation that we have here today, and we wouldn't have a foundation if it wasn't for them. At the same time, we are civilians also still part of that foundation, and we need to make sure that we connect with our military and our government, and we work together, okay? We work together and peacefully as possible, and not try to butt heads so much and blame others for this and this and that, and say, okay, this is what happened. Let's learn from it, and let's go from here now, instead of saying, well, you did this and you did that. Well, they did this and they did that, and that's being a victim. You put yourself in a victim status. They put themselves in a victim status. Blame, blame, blame. Okay, yes. This was the situation. This was the cause, the reaction, the response. Now what do we do? Okay, let's get over who did it yet. At the same time, don't forget that the people that do start certain things need to be spoken to and held accountable still for their choices and decisions, just like you have to be held accountable for your own choices and decisions. Okay, so just like if someone comes at you, you have coworkers, okay, and they don't like your kindness because they're very angry people, okay, and they come up to you and they just, are angry all the time, and they just spout out negative comments about everyone around them. That's something that they need to be taken to the side and be spoken to, and find out what it is inside of them that's actually keeping them from becoming happy, because they are actually very negative influences, and they are spreading the negativity throughout your entire department or work area, okay? Now, if you have other friends that are outside of work doing the same thing, and you're hanging out with them, then I would suggest that you stop hanging out with them, because they're spreading that negativity around your aura, okay? So your positive aura is in the center of all this negativity. And what happens is, if you stay in that negative surroundings, okay? In other words, if you keep those negative friends around you or coworkers around you, or they don't stop, you don't bring it up and be like, hey, you're really causing some drama around here. Let's tone it down some, what's happening. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of what's really happening in your life and why you're bringing it to work or around your friends. Okay. Then, all the gossipers, and all the people that call everyone names all the time and blame everyone else for everyone's situation, all the negative aspects. You want to eliminate all that as much as possible. And it can be done, and anyone can wake up the next day and start this process, okay? It's something that can be done for everyone in humanity. So think about it. But you want to get your positive aura and remove yourself from the negativity, okay? The negative surroundings. So if the other negative people are not going to alter their mindsets for a more positive outcome, then, or not explained that they need to, and then be removed and maybe go to anger management courses and stuff like that and learn some meditation and find out what's really the problem, because a lot of it stems from their home life or their childhood, and it's all coming out. And that's it's a whole psychological process that happens. A lot of people have no idea what's happening, but it is. And stress, okay? Stress, anxiety, and a lot of different things. So write down what it is that makes you happy, okay? Remove yourself from the negativity. If you're in a positive aura and you have a bunch of negativity around you, remove yourself from that, okay? Doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't mean you don't, it doesn't mean you hate everyone either, okay? That's important, because people will sit there and chime in and say, oh, well, they hate this and they hate that, and they, and they'll decide that you like all this other stuff and you hate this and you hate that, but really they have no idea anything about you at all. And they will create their own stories and mindset within themselves, and then they'll project it onto you and everyone else and spread rumors. Now, those are very toxic people, and those type of people form different opinions in other people's mindsets, which are completely false. And then they subject you, and then when you walk in, everyone's looking at you like, or there's crickets, and you're like, okay, what's going on? Well, everyone else is mad at you because this person said you were this way, and you had no idea that they even said it, nor are you that way. But now, this person over here is such a negative Nancy that they, created drama and that negativity all around. That's why I always say, stop gossiping and stop listening to other people, okay? Don't ever listen to anyone else's story. And you know what? And people need to stop telling other people's stories because they're not telling them properly. Okay, I've had that happen to me where somebody came in and told somebody else a story. I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, I don't even know what you're referring to. I'm like, so I wasn't even there. I don't know any of these people. Like, what? I don't think that way in any way, shape, or form. Like, I don't even know where you would get that opinion because I've never portrayed myself in that manner. You know what I mean? But to them, they were a negative Nancy, and they decided that they were going to spread some toxicity on their own because they're an extremely unhappy person. And so what happens is that causes a lot of drama and chaos throughout your aura, okay? Now, if you're not capable and you haven't done the work yet of being able to handle your own emotions, that can trigger some severe comebacks, okay? And a lot of people will get extremely upset and extremely angry immediately and just lash out without thinking about what they're doing or saying, or realizing that this person over here is really the negative person, and all you have to say is nothing. You don't have to say anything. You say, you know what? Or you can say, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then say that's completely false, and I would appreciate it if you just never try to speak for me or spread rumors, because that's very negative. And then, if they're going to keep doing it, then, there's different steps that you can go to depending on what department you're in. You can go to, that's called bullying at that point, and you can go to your HR department or your CEOs and stuff like that, your management. If your management isn't going to help you, then take the next step. I would just go to HR and go from there, okay? So what you want to do is you want to try to inspire everyone and motivate them to be able to be happier within themselves so that they do come to work and they are productive, and you are, I'm going to say you and not they, I'm going to say you are productive and you are more happy, and you have that positive aura around you, which allows you to, shine and then be out there in the public in front of everyone and share that with everyone, because it's like have you ever walked in to a room and someone smiles at you and you're like, man, that's great, and it just makes you happy and it makes you want to smile. It's because it's they're pushing that positive energy out into your area, that realm right there, and it's forcing it on you in such a way subtly, and you don't realize that that's what it's doing, but that's what it does. It's like, why would you not want to smile back at somebody that's smiling at you? It's like, or this is a negative thing. Okay, what if you walk into a room and someone says, oh, hi, but other person doesn't say hi back. And you're like, okay. All right. So that's actually very rude. Either if they heard you, it's extremely rude. And that's a toxic energy. If they didn't hear you, then they can say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. But don't come back at them and be like, okay, that was rude. Don't go back and start a fight with them. You don't want to fight with somebody. Just notice their mood at the time and just allow yourself to recognize it, learn from it. And, if you don't want to say hi to them next time, then don't. You don't have to. It's not your business to make anyone else happy. It's theirs. It's when they are trying to make you unhappy that you need to recognize, acknowledge, and remove yourself from that area. Okay? Now, people have their own opinions. Everyone does. The thing of it is it doesn't matter if someone doesn't like you. Who cares? You are there for yourself, to understand yourself and obtain your happiness. Okay? The thing of it is happy people surround themselves with happy people. And when they stop hanging out with negative people, it's because they're negative. Okay? Or they're very self-centered and selfish. Have you ever had a friend where you hung out all the time and all of a sudden, bam, you don't hang out anymore. All of a sudden, you're like, what happened there? You have no idea. Just the fact that you're not. And then you go and see them months later, and a lot of times people start back where they started, okay, or where they left off, excuse me. So the last time that person remembers hanging out with you was way back then, and so much of this other stuff has happened since then. So it's like they're bringing that past into today's realm instead of just remembering we're starting today and we're not in that situation now. You know what I mean? Like, we're not in the past. We're here today. So let's talk about today and what's going on tomorrow. Like, who cares about what happened 100 years ago? Nobody. The thing of it is a lot of people will react on what happened 100 years ago, and then I'm being sarcastic with that, but they'll react on that, and then they'll come to you with that mindset, and it may not be a positive one. So you have to remember that, and you have to remember that, they're not vibrating on the same level that you are at that point, okay? They're vibrating on a lower level, and you may be vibrating on this level, and then you guys are going to be like, what? Okay, and then it's not going to work out. You're not going to have a great time hanging out with one another because they're going to be bringing up this stuff that was negative that happened 100 years ago, and you're over here living a great life, and you're trying to you enjoy yourself, and all of a sudden, it's like, what are you doing? What's your purpose of bringing that back up? Well, not everyone has the same intentions for your happiness either. Remember that. So just stop hanging out with people that do that to you, okay? A lot of people don't understand that you can not hang out with everyone all the time. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's actually healthy for you to have your time for yourself. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. And a lot of people were taught that that's completely incorrect. And a lot of people were taught that, you need to do what everyone else is doing. You need to do what you need to do is what you should have been taught. And you need to do what makes you happy, okay? Now, when I say that, I mean, do what makes you happy, but don't put down other people when you're doing it either, okay? So, like, Don't call people up and be like, oh yeah, you want to hang out, or oh, you want to go here and make all these plans with people, and then just never ask them to go do anything again after you just made all these plans with them. That's a toxic person too. That's a self-centered person who says they think about you, but they really don't. When it comes down to it, they don't think about you at all, and they're a bunch of talk. So you get the talkers, and then you get the actual action takers and the real friends. So think about that. Also, you want to stay away from people and friends that will lie and try to purposely keep you down, who do not consider your goals or aspirations to be anything of substance, do not have your back, talk down about what it is that you do in your goals. You want to stay away from those type of people. Those people spread toxicity. They don't want you to be successful. They don't care about themselves enough to have happiness for anyone else, and they're not going to. So stay away from that type of toxicity, okay? I'm going to inspire you to think about all these ways that are going to help you become more happier, because we always understand what we don't like, right? I was just listening to Matthew McConaughey too, and his inspirational speech was fantastic. I loved it, and I thought, wow, this is fantastic. We always find out, he said, we always find out what we don't like and who we are by what we don't like. And then we find out what we like, right? So a lot of times you don't know what you don't like until it happens. And that's important to realize as well. You don't realize you don't like it until you experience it. So learn from your experiences and realize that you can alter your behaviors and your mindset to become more happy, and find out that you would rather choose this path instead of this path that you were on. Now, I have my book, Your Path to Inspiration, and I say that because what is your path to inspiration? What inspires you? What is it that truly makes you happy? What are you passionate about? I mean, really, really passionate about. And start taking those action steps to try each one of them, if there's more than one, and try them out and see how you feel. Take that time to try it and see how you feel. And sometimes, you might not get instant gratification. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. You might not like it at all. But so the thing of it is you try one passion out, and that passion opens up doors to different other passions that you may not realize that you even liked, that you were passionate about. And you meet different people. You become more educated in different areas and aspects of life, and it opens up your mind. It stimulates your mind to the point where you're more capable of living in society in a positive manner, okay? So when people don't, or I should say when people decide that they don't want to be stimulated, they're like, oh, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I don't need to go learn anything else, and I don't want to do anything else. I've already done everything. Well, that's fine. It's they want to stay on this level. So you need to decide if you want to stay on that level too, or if you want to rise above that. So that's up to each individual. I'm not going to ever say that anyone's a horrible person for choosing what they like. Everyone likes what they like. The thing of it is if you're hanging out with people that never want to move forward, then you're never going to move forward. You have to decide who it is that you hang out with, and what it is that you want to do. What is your success to you? Okay, not to everyone else, not your parents, your grandparents, your cousins, your friends, your husband, your wife. What's your success to you as a person? And then you discuss that with your husband, your wife, your partner, what have you. And then you discuss it with everyone else. But the thing of it is it's not up to anyone else to decide that. It's up to you to decide that. So I say choose your path. What is your path to inspiration? Not anyone else's. Yours. Personally, what is your path to inspiration? What inspires you on a daily basis? Do you wake up in the morning and start singing a song? Because I do. I love getting up and turning the music on, and it makes me happy and joyful. And I listen to inspirational songs, happy songs, love songs. And since I talk about love and dating, relationships and stuff like that, and inspiration, I always, in communication and stuff like that, I always think that it motivates me. So I get motivated by music, and I found that out. I've done the work on myself to know what I like and what motivates me. And so I'm trying to inspire you to figure out what motivates you, okay? Is there a certain type of music you like that motivates you? Now, remember, there are different frequency levels of music that will trigger your mindset to act accordingly. So they say if you listen to angry music, that you will come into, and you're on your way to work, that you will come into work angry. And it's completely true. And a lot of people don't realize that that's what's happening, but they get them rubbed up, or you're listening to a song and it's like, you know, and all of a sudden people start speeding. Has that ever happened to you? Because it's the frequency level that's triggering you. You just happen to be driving at that time. Now, if you weren't driving, it would trigger you to do something else. But it's triggering you to start going faster. That's what it does. It's a psychological situation that people don't realize, but every frequency level of music triggers your mind to make your body react a certain way. So that's why I say meditation is great, and it is helpful, and it can help you stay calm, collected, and it can help you move forward as far as like if you're feeling stuck in a certain aspect and you're not sure, you know, what to do, and we'll take a break. Listen to some meditation music. Okay, there's all kinds of different kinds. I have them listed on my YouTube channel under music, as well as a bunch of other music, but you can also go and just look them up yourself if you wanted to. The thing of it is they each trigger different emotions. And I put certain ones on there for people specifically instead of having to go through 5 million different ones yourself. But that will stimulate your mind to heal, to stay calm, to cry and get your emotions out even, which helps the healing process. Because a lot of times people hold that in and that keeps you stuck. Okay, so if you don't allow that energy to come out of your body, then you're going to be stuck there, and your mindset's not going to flow, so you're not going to come up with a solution of what it is that's going to allow you to move forward, because you're still stuck in that energy. Okay, and that energy is like this. It's like, ugh. So you want to let it flow. Okay, so your mind, your body, and your soul can flow like that. Okay, you don't want to be like this. You want to be like this, right? So calm, cool, collected. What I say is do it when you're not drinking, or you're not on different medications that are causing your mindset to be triggered in a different manner. A lot of people will lash out and do things because their mind is incapacitated with different stimuli. Okay, so remember that. So I'm going to inspire you also to think about that and what stimuli you want to cut back on, which allows your body to relax more and be able to become unstuck and flow in a more, calm, passionate, easy, relaxing manner, because that's what you want. Okay, that's going to make you happy. Little by little, you'll feel the energy coming back to you. You'll feel the energy, just lightening up, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel lighter. You're gonna feel you're less stressed. You're gonna be able to sleep. You're probably gonna lose some weight also. That's another key is, okay, if you're, and I've said this over and over and over again throughout different podcasts and on my Cooking with Kira show on my Facebook, my live Cooking with Kira little episodes, that when you're eating certain foods will cause you to feel horrible afterwards, or sick, or give you really bad stomach aches, or it goes right through you. All kinds of different negative feelings that come with different types of foods. So you may all of a sudden see a lot of weight gain also. So what you want to do is notice that, acknowledge it, and cut most of those foods out. And I say it's impossible for everyone. Well, I shouldn't say it's impossible, because it's not impossible, but I'm going to say it's extremely challenging for everyone or anyone to cut everything out 100% that they like, but that makes them feel bad. Okay, like let's say fries, or fried food, or French fries and stuff like that. Like, I cut those out of my diet, but I allow myself to eat them like 2 or 3 times a year. And that may sound strange, but it's true. But you know why? Because I do. Sometimes I will crave them, and I'm like, I allow myself to have it just a couple times a year, and knowing that, I'm probably going to see it on my body, and I'm going to have to work out more because of it. And I know it, and I acknowledge it, and so I act accordingly. But I don't do it on a daily basis to the point where I explode with all of this extra weight all of a sudden, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It would be because I'm eating these types of foods that cause that to happen. And it has nothing to do with blaming the food, and has to do with acknowledging what it is that I'm allowing myself to eat. Okay, because no one else is forcing anyone to eat anything except yourself. Okay, and I hear a lot of times people are like, well, it's cheaper if we eat McDonald's every day. Well, not in the long run, because your medical bills are going to be outrageous and you may not live, okay, very, very much longer. So consider that in the long run, it's not cheaper. You're going to have ailments, you're going to have surgeries, you're going to have medical bills, because the weight is going to crush your limbs. It's going to mess with your insides. The different foods cause inflammation, and it causes people to have to go to the doctor because of it. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And I'm not going to say that I know everything about everything either, so I don't. At the same time, what I am going to explain is that, working with people for over 21 years in radiology, and seeing the beginning before, right when you hurt yourself, and during, and imaging you, helping you be diagnosed, and then in surgery, and then after surgery, and your healing process, and seeing the entire process over and over, and listening to everyone's stories, and it's really profound, and you learn a whole lot. Okay, everyone's different, and everyone has different ailments, and we're all unique in our own ways. And the thing of it is I just want to make sure that everyone realizes that not everything works the same for each individual either. So take the action steps to find out what works for you and do it. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's only positive reinforcement. It's only positive aspects involved there. Okay, you're not gonna feel worse if you're eating healthier. You're not going to. It's not gonna happen. Some people, if you don't like a certain vegetable, then try a different vegetable. Okay, that's okay. You don't have to eat. Some people think of dieting. They're like, oh, I gotta eat broccoli. Broccoli's the worst vegetable in the whole world. Well, you know what? Think about it as more or less, you don't have to eat broccoli, but you can eat a Brussels sprout, or you can eat, all these other different foods that I'm not going to make a list out of them right now, but you know where I'm going with this. Think about it. Alter your foods. It's also going to alter your mindset. It's also going to make you feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to lose weight also. Okay, and then get a little bit of exercise. Now, you don't have to exercise every single day unless you are on an extreme strict regimen. Then yeah, you should exercise every day. I'm not going to say don't exercise every day if you want to. I'm not going to say it's unhealthy to exercise every day. It's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is you don't have to exercise every single day. So if you're just starting out, exercise 2 to 3 times a week, okay? And then if you want to do 4, that's fine. Do what works best for you and for what you're wanting to achieve. Okay, not everyone wants to achieve the same thing. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I think bodybuilding is fantastic. I used to lift weights and do cheerleading and gymnastics and soccer and I did martial arts, basketball, volleyball. I like to play tennis, the racquetball. I used to run for fun, and so many different things, okay? And that's fantastic. The thing of it is and I like Pilates and yoga and stuff like that too, but you don't have to be a bodybuilder to say that you're healthy, okay? And not every bodybuilder is healthy. And not every thin person is healthy as someone that has a little bit more weight on them either. And I'm not saying that either, but I'm saying is do what works best for you. What is it that you want to obtain? What do you want to look like? And what are you happy with for yourself? Because it doesn't matter what everyone else likes about you. It's what you like about yourself. Think about that. Write it down and then start taking those action steps to get there. I think that's important. So these are all key tips in order to become happier within yourself and within life. And, these are things that you can go ahead and utilize today. Or you can, take a break today and wake up tomorrow morning and start doing it then. The thing of it is it's definitely important to remember that you make yourself happy and you can take the action steps to alter your behaviors and turn your path this way so that you can move upwards instead of staying here or turning your path to where you're going down, okay? If you feel like you're going down, then stop for a minute, take a step back, think about what's happening, write it down, figure out what it is you need to do to start soaring and flying high again. Got it? And I don't mean flying high as a substance. I mean like soaring in the sky like a plane, you know, like a bird. Make that clear too. I don't get high, I don't do substances, stuff like that. So anyway, I wanted to share that information. And just take the time to, you know, find out what inspires you, okay? I care about everyone, and I want happiness and peace throughout the world, and I think that it's definitely possible to do. It just is going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot happening right now, and it's causing a lot of anxiety and pain and sadness and chaos on every level. And I think that it's going to be, changing here very soon, and our mindsets are going to be altered to a certain degree, and we are going to start vibrating on a higher level again instead of going downward like we have been. So I think it's important to go ahead and start with yourself, and each day take another action step forward to altering your mindset, to vibrating on a higher level and allowing yourself to get to where you want to be and obtaining your goals. The thing of it is you need to know what they are, and you write those down as well, and find out, what it is that you're going to need to do to obtain them. These are all tips that are going to help you obtain them, but you still need to know what they are in order to get there, okay? And then if people are trying to hold you back, because I've had plenty of people try to hold me back, and they do it on purpose, and they've been doing it on purpose. And then they tell me that they've done it and why they did it. And then some did it on purpose for their own benefit instead of, and people have stolen my information. People have shredded paperwork of mine. People have done all kinds of different things to me on purpose because they were jealous, or they were unhappy with themselves, or they didn't want to see me succeed, and so they tried to keep you down. I've had people, lie about all kinds of different situations. All kinds of different things have happened to me, but you know what? I've had people do things to me that have caused extreme disasters for me, which I did not need, nor did I ask for, nor did I manifest in any way. At the same time, angry people will do that to people intentionally, and it's very sad. The thing of it is what you do there is you remove yourself from those areas and those people, and then you continue to thrive on your own because you don't need them. They're just going to hold you back, okay? They may slow you down, and they will never stop you. Only you will stop you. That's important. If I can give you any lesson besides communication is key to being happy, it's you are the only person that will stop you from obtaining your goals, okay? You can be slowed down, but no one will ever stop you. All right. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys have a super fantastic day, night, and morning, depending on what country you're from. And we will talk more soon. All right. Take care.